Hi everybody, my name is Shannon and welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me this day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be in your time zone. I greatly appreciate it. It's Sunday, and on Sunday, I like to show off washcloths that I'm making. So I call this Crafting with a Cause, and it started with Scrubby Sunday. Scrubby Sunday was the brainchild of another YouTuber, Heather from Strings and Threads. And I'll link her below. I just realized I've been doing this and telling you about her and not having her linked down below. So I'll do that so then you can go ahead and check her out if you're interested. So she was making washcloths to improve her skills with knitting and crocheting. Isn't that a great idea? Because a washcloth is just a smaller canvas that you can just paint with yarn with different textures and stitches and colors, and it's a smaller area that you can really play with and practice. And if it's wonky, who cares? It's a washcloth, and if it comes out great, you've learned something new. So she was doing this, and then she was giving them to her subscribers at the end of the month. Well, a charitable organization reached out to her, the American Starfish Organization, and asked if they could have those. They're collecting washcloths for homeless veterans all the way up until Veterans Day, November the 11th, 2023. So they have tiny houses and washing stations, and they do all sorts of stuff. I'll have them linked below. But right now they're collecting washcloths, and you don't need one of us as a middle person. You don't. Heather put the call out, and the yarning community has stepped up. There's a lot of channels involved in making washcloths and having a lot of fun. So you can let us know you're doing it, but you don't have to. You can just mail them directly to the organization. You don't need a middleman, or you can just do it anonymously. That's up to you. One counts. One makes a difference. It doesn't matter. So what I like about this organization, on top of, you know, a wonderful excuse to make things and to give things to people who need them, is they've been keeping in touch with Heather. And they sent out some stitch markers that she distributed to some of the different channels that are working on these. And then they got in touch with her and they said, hey, we'd like to give some yarn away. And that's on Heather's channel. So they sponsored a yarn giveaway on Heather's channel. And I thought that was another nice thing. And then they're keeping her up to date. They sent her some video of the washing stations that they just installed. And again, I mean, it's a wonderful organization that is staying involved and staying relevant. And they seem to be truly thankful and feeling very blessed for everything that this yarning community is doing for them. I thought that was really good. It's just, I mean, if that doesn't warm your heart, right? I mean, come on, that's got to warm your heart. So it's been wonderful doing that. And my goal is to do 2 a week, every week, all the way up until Veterans Day, and have those shipped off. And I'm having fun doing them. I'm, to spice it up in my world, instead of using the same pattern, which there's nothing wrong with, I'm having fun finding different patterns. And I can make some on my own. I don't necessarily need a pattern, but I'm enjoying spotlighting other creators. So I'm deliberately looking for tutorials and patterns that you may or may not have seen. So then you can follow somebody else, find somebody else new, kind of a 2-for-1 situation. You're helping veterans if you choose to, and you're learning about someone else. So this week, today, I'm spotlighting somebody that, if you're following a bunch of people, you already know who she is, Crystal from Bag O' Day. And I'm doing this because she has so many tutorials. If you're new to crochet and you don't know where to start, she's got 1,000+ tutorials, no joke. And they're all free. And she's very easy to follow and understand. So definitely go check out hers. I'm gonna link the tutorial for the washcloth that I used today. Look at this. Look at the gorgeous texture in that. If this is your first time watching me, you don't know it yet, but I love texture. So that with that bumps all over it, I think is stunning. And this is just a 2-row repeat washcloth. She has all the instructions, very easy to follow, quite enjoyable. Look at that. Look at that, just those bumps and bits. I think that just, for me, it's just a, I'm very textural. I like to touch things, feel things. My mother is legally blind, and so are different family members, and it's a hereditary eye disease called RP, retinitis pigmentosa. So my mom, obviously being raised by a blind woman, very textural, right? Couldn't see the things as well, legally blind in 1971. So I really learned to feel things, and that's, even my kids shop by touch. And they're fully sighted, but I mean, they shop by touch. So I really like texture and nubs and things along that line. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I did 2 of these. Look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. Oh, look how red I am. I am so sunburned. Oh yeah, I was out in the sun. I'm white skinned and a redhead. That's what the sun does to me. Oh, I'm burnt. I'm feeling it. So these cloths, as you can see, that texture is gorgeous. And what do you think of the colors? I mean, the colors are fantastic. I'm going to show you what yarn I use, because why not spotlight the yarn too? I mean, let's learn about all sorts of things today. So where is it? Okay, this is the K&C yarn. If you're not familiar, this right here is a Joann's proprietary yarn. I know I go to Joann's a lot. This one, where'd the other one go? I have another one. It's right here. So these are the 2 welts that I used, right? So you can see the colors on those. So this is a Joann proprietary yarn. It is 100% cotton, and the K&C stands for knit and crochet. I believe this is their attempt at fancier local yarn store type yarns, higher end, higher quality. Things along that line, and it feels great. This feels like a garment cotton, garment worthy, and that's what I got it for. I really wanted to make a garment. Let me tell you how many yards and everything. So 180 yards for 3.5 ounces. That's 100 grams. That's 165 meters. 100% cotton. Again, feels fantastic. And let me show you those colors there again. It was really easy to work with. I think the drape is fantastic. I crocheted these, both of them, on a size G crochet hook. I don't know offhand what the millimeters is on that. I just grew up with the ABC numbers, or ABC letters. I liked the way it felt. I didn't have to pull it out. Don't think there would be any issues with pulling anything out. There's not any snags or anything along that line. I mean, the drape is great. It's a 100% cotton. I think, again, definitely something that would be comfortable to wear against the skin. Baby garments, adult clothes, it really doesn't matter. Wonderful. I can't remember how much it was, but Joann's always runs sales, so definitely, if you see it, get it on sale. Now, that's a lot of positives. I like this yarn. I will buy this yarn again. I like those colors. You know it's coming, don't you? You know there's going to be a negative, don't you? It's not a big negative. Well, it depends on what you want to make. And then in that case, yes, it is a big negative. You see these colors? You see them on here? You know where I'm going with this? That's the same color. That's the exact same color. The exact name and the exact dye line. Would that bother you in a garment? It would me. Unless that's what I wanted. And then that's okay. These are both the Santa Fe colorway. And I looked because there's a lot of different numbers on here. It has the art number of 191-72519. Same on both. Santa Fe is the color number. And then the lot number is 43/4945/A as an alpha. They were both manufactured October of 2022. So I don't know if that's showing up, if you can actually see it. I don't know, it looks pretty blurry to me. So they're the exact same. They're not. they feel the same. They work up just as beautifully, and it made gorgeous washcloths. But if I wanted to use this as a garment and I needed a second skein, that would probably be disappointing. You know, if I didn't plan it ahead or stripe it, or if I wasn't paying necessarily attention and they were all in the same bin and I'm like, oh, look, I've got the same dye lot. Because you know how some things will have darker on the outside and lighter on the inside. So looking at them, you could look at it and say, oh, okay, well, all the dark stuff's on the inside of this one and all the light stuff's on the inside of this one, and think they're going to be the same. They weren't. It didn't bother me for my use that I'm using it for, but if I had started a baby garment, a cute little jacket, and I got the majority of it done, and then, you know, in this color, then I finished it with this, and didn't know it was going to do that, that would probably irritate me. But that's the only thing. So when you are looking at this yarn, just do an eye test. Does it look like it's the same? Kind of do that whole dig in the center and see if you know, does it look like there's going to be the similar colors? I did notice that in the store too, not just this color, but with some of the other colors, there was not a good consistency. Same. They're not the same. They're not the same. A sameness from colors across the board. But I'm used to buying hand-dyed things. This is not. But I'm used to buying hand-dyed things that are not going to be the same across the board. And I'm okay with that. But just know that for this. And if you're good with it, it's a fabulous yarn. It feels great. It worked up just spectacular. I mean, look at that. These are going to be wonderful. And I love the colors. I mean, I love that portion color in there, and then that mustard, because we know I like that color all over my room, right? You know, I mean, it's a thing, right? It's just how that works. And the Santa Fe color is stunning. I will get this again. If you've worked with it, let me know what you made. I'm curious, because I would like to make some garments with this, kids garments, things along that line, because it feels really nice. And I'd like to know what you guys have done or anything along that line. I'm going to go ahead and get off, and I'm going to go put some sun stuff on this because it hurts. And my face hurts, and everything was, you know, I got, look, I am so crispy. I had pants on, so that's all that got crispy is what you see. That's it. But wow, I'm feeling it. Yeah. All right, everyone, you have a great day, and thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate this and sharing all the things that I've learned and all the things that I'm working on, and I'd love to hear what you're working on. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. Bye-bye.